What's up, YouTube? This is Wild Echo. My name is Parker, and I'm here for the Raw rundown of January 1st of 2018. Happy New Year! It's crazy that it's already 2018, and so this is the first video for Wild Echo of the new year, so that's really exciting. Um, but we're here, like I said, for the Raw rundown, where I look through Raw this week and I give the good parts an up and the bad parts a down. And while the start of the show was a little meh for me, it did pick up as it went on a little bit. So um, let's find out what I thought of Raw. Jumping in with the beginning of Raw, which saw Kurt Angle come out. He was in the back talking with Alexa Bliss at the very start, where Alexa was trying to get out of the match between her and Asuka that was planned for later on in the night. And Angle said that she wasn't going to get out of it and that she needed to watch herself or it might become a match for the championship. Um, but then Angle did go out and he started talking about the Raw for tonight. And Sheamus and Cesaro came out. He was talking about the Royal Rumble as well, and that the women's Royal Rumble would have the same rules as the men's Royal Rumble, which I would have thought would have been pretty obvious, but apparently that needed to be specified, but whatever. And so while he was talking about the Rumble, Sheamus and Cesaro came out, and they were, of course, angry with the fact that they lost their tag team championships last week, and that they were demanding their rematch this tonight, that during that night. And Angle said no, that they would get their rematch when he said, which kind of seemed a bit weird, seeing as usually the former champions get to decide when they want to do it, but I guess not when it comes to uh, this circumstance because it involves Angle's fake son. So then said fake son did come down, and he was getting all cocky and stuff that he earned the championship and all this, and then he was kind of talking a big game, and so Rollins came down and said that he needed to kind of cool it because he was a part of a team and was talking for the both of them, and that was something he needed to watch. So everything about this was leading up to the announcement for Jordan versus Cesaro, which was the next segment. And it was an okay segment, not really anything super special, kind of your generic start of Raw. But I'm going to give it an up just for kind of for the heck of it. I didn't feel like it deserved a down, but I didn't really feel like it deserved an up. But I'm going to give it an up just because it's the new year, it's exciting or whatever. But up next, we did have Jason Jordan versus Cesaro in a match that I didn't enjoy personally. Cesaro is obviously amazing, and Jason Jordan is great in the ring as well. But to me, something about the match just wasn't exciting. I couldn't get into it, and so I'm giving it a down. Jordan did win, which I guess is the right call. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. It just wasn't. There wasn't anything about it that made me excited. I guess you could call it at this point it's match of the year worthy because it was the first match of the year. So that's something. But I don't know. It just wasn't exciting. It wasn't very interesting. There wasn't anything that either of them did that was particularly any exciting moves. And so it's getting it down. Next, we had Bray Wyatt actually going up against Apollo Crews for some reason. Don't know why. It was just kind of random. But with Apollo Crews was Titus O'Neil, and also the new statistical person for the Titus brand, and Dana Brooke. And she was in glasses and she had a notepad. She was taking notes during the match of what I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. It was weird. The match wasn't particularly good in my opinion. I did like the match before. Everybody involved is an incredible athlete and all that, but I just couldn't get into it, and so I'm giving it a down. It just I don't know, it wasn't good. Bray Wyatt did win, which is pretty crazy. Bray Wyatt winning is a moment in and of itself that's worth um, some sort of praise, I suppose. But after the match, we did have Woken Matt Hardy appear on the Titantron, and it was great. It was hilarious. It was kind of just saying kind of the same old thing from the past couple weeks that uh, Matt was going to take over his darkness with Matt's light, and all this stuff. But it was funny. It was entertaining, and it ended with Matt laughing, and then he started like splitting into different boxes, like multiplying until there was like hundreds of them, and they were all laughing. It was great. And so that is getting a huge up right there. Next, we did have the match between Asuka and Alexa Bliss that was talked about earlier, and I'm giving this a down as well. Like the matches before, it just wasn't entertaining. It kind of went on too long, and it just wasn't exciting. It wasn't entertaining. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think like Asuka did well in it. She kept doing the same thing. She just kept throwing her butt in Asuka's and Alexa's face, which was weird. And then Bliss would spend a lot of the match in the ropes, kind of getting away and jumping out of the ring. But I would have thought she would have went for the count out or something like that, being the heel, but she didn't, and the match continued, and eventually she tapped out to the armbar, and I don't know, this is what it was. I didn't enjoy it though, so like I said, I'm giving it a down. Next up, we had a fantastic interview by Samoa Joe with Renee Young, and it was great because it was talking about him injuring Dean, which of course is Renee's husband. So it was really good. The way he was talking, and the fact that he was like, now Dean gets to sit at home and live off his wife's paycheck. It's just the whole thing was really great, and then the intensity he got for saying that he was going to be the new Intercontinental Champion tonight was great, and Samoa Joe's just always awesome. So I had to give him an up for this. Next up, we had kind of a confusing bout because it started out as a singles match and then apparently became a handicap match. We're not totally sure. It never was fully explained. But it was Braun Strowman, and originally he was going to be facing Rhino, and Heath Slater was in Rhino's corner. But then, as the match was kind of just getting started, Slater got up on the ringside and started yelling at Braun, and so Braun gets out of the ring, grabs a mic, and says, "If you're gonna talk trash, then get in the ring and show it, or get out, and get." It was something. It was great. Whatever exactly the words he said was fantastic, and it was really good. And so he did look like he was going to cower down, and then when Braun had his back turned, he got in the ring and started attacking Strowman with Rhino, and I guess it became a handicap match because there was no DQ by the ref. So so yeah, I guess it became a handicap match. I'm not really sure, but Braun just took care of both really quickly and won, obviously, and power slammed them over and over again with the crowd going wild, and it was great. This was like when it started getting good for the show started getting good for me, and so obviously this is getting huge up as well. Next, we had backstage promo. We had Angle on the phone. Not sure he was on the phone with because he was explaining to whoever it was that the women's Royal Rumble was going to be exactly like the men's, and I don't think that would be Stephanie McMahon because you would have thought he would have had to have gone to Stephanie before announcing that to make sure that that's what they were going to do. So I'm not sure who he was talking to, but I don't guess it matters. And Finn Balor came in, and he announced that he was going to be entering the Royal Rumble as well, um, which is fine. And then apparently it was said that there was a 6-man tag match, him with two partners going up against the Miz, Taraj, and Elias. And Angle asked if he had picked his partners yet, and Finn said that he had, and up walked Gallows and Anderson, which was really great. I'm glad that they paired with him tonight, and I'm hoping that this is going to bring them together as kind of a new stable, and I think that'd be really great. And so this is getting an up. Next up, we had Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental Championship, and the match was really great. It may have went on a little long, but the match there was this added stipulation because of what happened last week that if Roman Reigns did get disqualified, he would lose the title. So there was that kind of drama that was played in with him kind of getting a little too into it, and he almost went with the stairs to attack him again, but he cooled down and didn't. And I was kind of surprised that Roman did win because I thought this would be a good way to take the IC title off of him for WrestleMania if you're still going with him versus Lesnar. But Roman did win, and the match was good, and so it's getting an up. Next up, we did, after some purple stuff, we had the 6-man tag that was announced earlier with Balor and Gallows and Anderson versus Elias, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. And it's getting an up. It was a little too short for my taste. Anderson especially didn't get to do anything, it seemed. And so I would have liked it a little longer, but I can understand with what they had planned for after that. They needed to cut it a little short, I guess. But it was good. And like I said, I like the stable. I hope that they're going to stay together. And so it gets enough. I'm giving it a down though to Booker T on his commentary today. It was really bad, really terrible. They were talking about the Royal Rumble, and his job was to talk about the Triple Threat main event, and he couldn't get through it. He kept laughing or whatever, and so Cole and Corey had to say it for him, and that's pretty bad. And then he couldn't even use correct English, and that's just, I don't know, all of that. I had to give him a down. Kind of to end the show, we had Paul Heyman come out with Brock Lesnar, and he cut an awesome promo, like always. And so Paul is obviously getting an up because he always gets an up because he's always great. And it was fantastic, saying that that Brock was the best and he was going to win no matter what odds were stacked against him, which is pretty great because the one guy that can kind of go with that is Brock. You know, he's the one that can. That's kind of the most true with. He can handle whatever he's up against. And then, as Lesnar and Heyman were leaving the ring, Kane's music hit. He came out, and there was a kind of a small brawl between Kane and Lesnar. It would have been nice if Braun Strowman would have came out as well, but we did have kind of what's normal in Lesnar feuds now is we had them start to brawl, and then Kurt Angle sends out the whole roster to pull them apart, and that's how Raw ended. So that's getting it up. And so all in all, it was a pretty great Raw. It started off kind of slow, but in the end, the Ups do win with 9-4, and yeah, it was overall a pretty good start for Raw for the year. And I'm excited to see how it's going to continue with the Royal Rumble coming up soon. But if you did enjoy, please hit that like button. If you have any opinions on Raw this week, put it in the comments section below. We'd love to hear what you guys thought of it. And subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content for this new year. But with that, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. This has been Wawa Echo. I'm Parker, and we will see you very soon. Peace.